Yeah, I already knew this day was gonna happen. Cause after the third time, it's like, all right, you're deliberately trying to manipulate what I could never be. That's exactly why this video is being made for all inverts that decide to think that trolling is going to work. People have to remember, I grew up before trolling was even considered what it is today. So it has two different meanings, literally. And I've been doing that since I've been playing Modern Warfare 2, Black Ops 2, Black Ops 1. So I done heard and seen many different lobbies, heard so many different sparks of racism, so much negative stuff in my life, even in real life as well. Just being in the school system that I used to go to, or even just society, seeing social media start from where it is today. I didn't see both sides of the spectrum of what inversion can be. I didn't know what it was back then, but today it has two different meanings now because, for one, somebody that goes by the name of, I'm just gonna say, I ain't gonna say Addy, but Daddy, Kid Addy, BQ8DT. When I realized that, for one, you tried to sit here and say my identity from a government standpoint of what my name could not be. You decided to say my first and last name, then say I'm an invert. And you had to, the thing is too, it's easy to see that now, the three responses that have been commenting this lately, you are basically projecting what my projection can't be. And somebody wants to say, well, what does that even mean? Because for one, I see now a lot of people are watching me behind closed doors and they're sending out little minions or they're making fake profiles. And they're basically saying to themselves, okay, he has to now project if I tell him what this projection is. So if somebody is inverted, they will have to comment under my videos to get my attention by saying to themselves, oh yeah, you are inverted just like that inversion. But it's like, I can't be your inversion because remember, I'm not in your inversion. You want me to be your inversion because I go against what you were inverted into. That's your script and that's your cosmic purpose of following. You scripted out your orchestrated lifestyle by being put into submission because you enjoy doing so by living in your ignorance. So the other two profiles that basically I removed, because it's like you're sitting here coming into my realm of being in bliss. And you decide to say, so I know somebody else who was trolling because a lot of y'all hide behind profile pictures with your face not even involved and you have no videos of yourself. So you're basically just an agent for synthetic consciousness. So you are pushing a confused mechanism on society to follow because I don't follow it. You want them to follow what you think I could never be. To other beings, ask the same exact question. That's how I knew somebody is making fake accounts to try to get my attention, to make me confused, or make me to even question what I always been. But what can I be? When you think I am a divine masculine, whole entire time, my masculinity cannot be defined as masculine in this realm. That's what people identify me to be as. But realistically, these beings said, why did you lie about being a biological man? Question mark. I said to myself, nice try. Because you don't know how to be a divine masculine or divine feminine, whatever you are, because you're upset about your confusion, these beings are now wanting me to be a part of their own confusion. And that's the pyramid scheme. I can't be in your confusion. Because remember, I exist in clarity. Sorry, I can't imitate your lies. Sorry, all I do is speak that. I exist in that. I can only exist in natural law, divine orders, and having a cosmic purpose for myself. And know what my destiny script is wanting me to start scripting myself into being. I can't be an inverted being. I can only be in the inversion. I can't be an inverted being. I can only be in the inversion. And it sucks. I know that a lot of inverted beings want me to be just like them. You want me to idolize and praise your celebrities. You want me to think like you. You want me to go back into the timeline that you're still suffering in. That's why we have two differences. Because your similarities are literally mixed with confusion. I don't play in that. Sorry. Because the thing is too, somebody can say, well, you don't play in it, but you're calling yourself divine messenger or this and that. That's the thing. by this person even saying my first and last name, that's this. You don't know me. Remember, you were born in this. That's your karmic cycle that you gotta face. So because you're in this, you think as if my identity that my profile has, you think as if I'm inverted because you say so. That's not how that works, my guy. Sorry. For one, if it was to work, if I'm being like this, I would tell you what you are by showing you what you are. That's exactly why on the screen, I have my proof right here. And as a matter of fact, on February 15th, because I still have it, shout out to Skull and Gate too, by the way. Skull and Gate has great work, and he also did the work that I showed through my YouTube videos exposing different celebrities and influencers. On February 15th, I had a forensic analysis on my skull and as far as my gait and all that, my clavicle and all that. So for one, I put, and in February 15th was this year, by the way, gender isn't a real concept, but you should know your divine masculine and feminine qualities put into your avatar. We are beings of light, living unconsciously in a realm ruled by dark thoughts that can't think outside of their perception, and they claim to be spiritual or conscious or teachers of knowledge. Pathetic. Thank you to the trans investigators that been supporting me and been telling me I was the one to bring this dark psychological topic to light, and for showing me a higher enlightenment that majority of people are still unconscious to seeing or scared to speak on. And this simulation, checking the walk, throat, hands, birth certificate, voice, genitalia, and whatever else isn't going to be enough to see their insecurities. That's why you had to hide behind your insecurities by telling me what I can't be insecure in. I know who I am biologically, and you are confusing what you biologically don't even know that you are in biological viewpoints. Learn how to do skull overlays on yourself and others. If you can do a forensic scan on someone you talk to and you see something else that isn't in front of you according to the skull that they are pretending to be in, just know the documentary they live is based on their community. If you are scared to learn your history in a world full of lies, then you will always be a puppet in this dimension. If you can't ask your parents about your baby history and they avoid the question, then keep questioning your guardians. The world transitioned into being softer because majority of the world isn't even their actual gender, and their lies are eating at their subconscious. If you or anyone else can't post this EGI forensic overlay, don't trust them and don't trust yourself, and stay away from your delusion. The ignorance in this world hates a confident, dominant, submissive, intelligent, articulate, and loving, natural-born man and woman. If your parents or guardians didn't love you, don't get mad at the messenger. Go check them for what they did to you. Go check them for what they did to you. And you mad because now I'm finna check you. And the thing is too, you don't even have anything to be checked on because you're not even a real being. Because what are you being besides inversion? That's why I can't get mad at you, whoever you are. And the thing is too, I understood too with occultism. A lot of times their ignorance comes in threes. Excuse me. Because their ignorance comes in threes, now we can unlock the keys into more inversion. So basically, you just shot yourself in the foot. Because you shouldn't have even commented under my shit. I ignored you the first 2 times, whoever you are, because you're hiding for some strange reason. But if someone was to say, well, you're inverted because I have your gematria script. For one, men lie, women lie, but numbers don't. And the thing is too, numbers cannot define what the truth is. That's the problem right there. I be telling people, you can do gematria on anybody in the world. The only difference is, how can you contradict gematria? If you are learning a language through numerology, it will still lie to you because it has a language attached to the barrier that you are not able to overcome. That's the thing. Confusion tries to confuse my clarity. You can't disrupt my flow of thought. Excuse me. That's exactly why I can't imitate a lie. Excuse me. That you are stuck in. Now, of course, can I? For sure. I can imitate your lies by being in your shoes, but I can't be a being in your shoes because why? You are the God of this world. And this goes for all inverted beings who want to hide and troll and make fake accounts. At least have the balls and be your own profile. At least have some videos to describe what's going on and how this could be. But the thing is, though, if you even made a video on what I'm being, it wouldn't even make sense to yourself. Because you would have to lie and make up some things to confuse yourself as a being so you can get more attention for yourself. I have no followers. I have no following. I have no praise. I have no admiration. Do I have some supporters? For sure. But I can't be inverted. Because why? I'm not famous. I'm not rich. I'm not even known. I don't have every material possession in this world because why? I don't care to feed my pleasures. That's exactly why. All you're doing now is helping me awaken into what I want to feed into. My desires now, because remember, I can't imitate a lie by feeding into it, by learning from it, because all I can do is basically learn from your confusion that you want me to be confused by. I can't be confused with what I'm clear with. I'm so clear in my transparency, people despise me for that because I exude a biological capability that they are afraid of. I like that. The leaves falling, elements flowing. It's a great day. My ego is an original blueprint. About to start raining. Sorry though. My ego is an original blueprint of what majority of inverts hate and are jealous of. My original blueprint is the truth that people want to lie in. People want to lie in my truth so bad that they mock it or mimic it or imitate it. And the imitation on your mimicry doesn't work on divinity. It's too clear for us to see through. And the thing is too, what you think you see, it's not see-through. Because you can't see through veils that are transparent in front of you. So I'm basically telling you who I am in plain sight. The only difference is I wear a costume of what you can't even be. But you want to be my being by telling me what you're being. Ha! What the hell? I could only hold a projection or show you a projection of what you always been. I can't even be your projection because why? It wouldn't even make sense to my clarity. That's exactly why I chose to come back. You have to come back. That's the difference with inverted beings that want to be original blueprints. Woo. That's the thing. You had to come back. I didn't have to. I chose to. And I understand why that may upset a lot of, inverted beings who are watching this. But remember, if the shoe fits, wear it. I'm not here to degrade you or anything like that. But if we want to troll, let's start trolling. They hate me. Okay, it's a lot of them. They hate me because I am source coded and all codes are a form of lies. So I am a source coded in lies, masquerading and being born into being a biological man. Being in order for divinity. And that's exactly why their order that lost the sight of source because they thought as if they were source, but you are the form of what source is being presented in. Because they lost that, they couldn't be in order. Not only just that, they couldn't be divine. They lost that divinity because they decided to climb downstairs to their consciousness because they feed their desires. I don't. They urge you to live in their lies. I don't. I say be yourself. I don't preach positivity or negativity. I don't even preach. Inverts are glitches rewriting nature. And the thing is too, we are all, now don't get me wrong, contradict everything, question everything. I, of course, am a glitch as well. But I will not rewrite your nature. That's what they came here to do. That's exactly why, by somebody commenting that, you can't sit here and make me think, am I really a man? Stop. Because I already knew the qualities or the qualifications of what it meant to be a man was, and still is, by going through what I went through, what I put myself through. My mom knew better spiritually. She knew better. But guess what, though? I still had to be born in inversion. Does that mean I'm inverted? No. You want me to be, and I can't be. I would know what that even feels like. I can only know what it sees itself being. Because I'm not being in inversion, but I'm observing the being in inversion. The being in inversion. Because what are you observing yourself being in? What in the world is inversion? By your mistakes that you still lie in, by wanting to manipulate the truth. Fuck out of here, man. Me being the glitch of source code right here, biologically, it's not in my nature to rewrite your nature of being. So if you are inverted, I'm not going to sit here and tell you that you can be a biological man in the next life Or I'm not going to sit here and tell you what you should be doing in this life. I'm not going to sit here and tell you what you have to do and why you didn't do this and why this or that happened. No. I'm not going to sit here and tell you about your life. No, I'm going to sit here and show you what the spirit of gematria or numerology can be and what it cannot be. But the thing is, though, it's a message with the being presenting itself through a form of ignorance. That's the problem right there. Ignorance will tell you what you think you cannot be. That's exactly why you don't confine to the things that people attach themselves to. People want me to be their projection, and I can't be that. So when I can't be that, they despise me for it and continuously try to get me to think that I'm like them. I can't be your inversion. I'm sorry. But I don't apologize for my truth that I experience myself being in. Inversion leeches on confusion for survival. Inverts can only survive off of being's confusion. That's why I can't be your confusion. I can't even confuse your confusion. Because what am I confusing? You know your confusion, that's why you're not confused. But the thing is too though, after this video, beings will be confused on what they are inverted by. For one, you are inverted by your actions that you still don't know how to control. That's the inversion right there. That's how you know these beings are beastie or beastly. They're beasting. I don't like that word. Someone say beastly and beasting. But they're, I'll say in bestiality, these beings and their genetics, because they are the leeches for confusion or survival, right? So in inversion, even in biblical time periods, not only were these beings so uncontrollable with their desires, they decided to not only procreate and give birth to inverted beings that had procreation with animals. Not only did they genetically alter that genome or that biological spacesuit underwater, because they're dreaming underwater. So because they were the first beings to be underwater, not observing divinity that was already here in clarity, because we were already ahead in timelines. We had to coexist with each other because no matter what, we are the form of polarities. That's exactly why on the opposite side of things, on their side of the veil of mood altering devices that they planted into this stratosphere of density or dense consciousness, they wanted divinity or divine beings to go on their side of experimentation to be just like them. When we decided to say, no, we are not going to align with you because we will descend ourselves into being dead in your consciousness. Now, we are already dead consciously, but we know that, which is exactly why we are just being in a truth that we can't imitate your lies in. Now, because they got mad that we couldn't imitate their lies in this or that, they decided to do what now? They became the parasites. They became the pilgrims. They became the scavengers or the scavengers of taking divinity from the source that was coded into being itself biologically as a man and a woman. They wanted to be in the order of divinity because they lost their way by urging themselves to be different in their ways of being. Now, we have the same exact being of ways or confusion. But the thing is, though, we're more clear about what we could never be because we healed ourselves in the past lives that you are still suffering in today in this life right now, that you still lie in right now. That's exactly why they leech on confused beings who watch my videos to survive. So if somebody sits there and thinks as if, well, is Darius really an invert? How? Come on, fam. Like, it's like when I'm sitting here thinking about that, I'm like, bro, in order for the little boy inside of you to survive, you had to survive by confusing yourself into what a divine being cannot be. And you know that, which is exactly why out of all the influencers, out of all the content creators, you decided to comment under my comments or under my videos. For what? For what? To help please yourself? That's the thing right there. They only do things out of pleasure. I don't please myself in pleasure. It's not pleasure. It's not pleasuring to do so anymore. It's not. Only an invert can tell you what you're not being because they're being that program. Duh. My clarity on genetics, threatens your illusion. Because that's the thing. This right here is golden. This right here is key, by the way. I threaten your illusion because, for one, inverts cannot stand a man that doesn't second guess on himself. I don't have to sit here and guess how manly I'm being because why? The masculine side of me always shows regardless of how you feel. These beings came and stand up to themselves. That's the sad part. These inverts came and stand up to themselves because they want to be like this or a woman. That's exactly why they inverted a woman at birth, to make sure that if a biological man comes from her, we got to show this being what we want him to be. You want me to be feminized. You want me to wear a dress. You want me to wear a wig. You want me to put on makeup. You want me to sell myself to have more followers or more followings. But that's what you do. Remember, beings who are insecure have to hide behind profiles that are fake pages with no subscribers or no motion going on. That's how I know you have no consciousness. Not only just that, you sat here and thought to yourself, and you did contradict your thoughts as well, because you told yourself, if I send this, what will happen? What will be the reaction? You already understand that, from one, you can't even try sorcery upon a sorcerer. That's the problem right there. People try to do magic upon a magician, and it won't work on my own magician or magicianry? Magicianry and sorcery combined together, I'm gonna make a new word. I mean, they can do it, right? So why can't we do it? Magicianry. You can't manipulate my magicianry. My magician with sorcery combined together. You can't alchemize my alchemy because you don't know what my alchemy looks like. That's the problem. You want to confuse what I'm alchemizing every single day genetically. I know why I'm here. Do you? No, you do not. So because I know and I'm dominant in that knowing, you want me to calm it down. That's exactly why in my life, it was so many people who would tell me to be quiet, stop talking, shut up. No. Only inverts tell you to stop talking because they're confused by what you're surviving in. You're surviving in their lies. So when you express your truth, they will tell you, stop expressing what we know. We don't want to say that out loud, but you know what we are out loud, so stop talking about us like that. No, bitch, that's the problem. You are a disgrace to humanity. You are the reason why people are following. Yeah, that confirmation. You are the reason why beings are striking. What the fuck is that? Get the fuck away from me. Look at that parasite right there. Can't make this stuff up. You are the reason why people have believed that they are what they think they are. You people, these inverts are the reason why celebrities are a thing. These inverts are the reason why the Vatican is a thing. These inverts are the reason why the Bible shit is a thing. These inverts are the reason why symbolism is a thing. These inverts are the reason why societies and secrecy exist. There is a low key, not even a low key, but there is an underground gay, homosexual, occultic group and families, ancient bloodlines that are sitting here telling people what they are not. So when they are coming into and coming into our households through the television screens and families by being digital agents that are manipulating physical forms, they will sit there and manipulate your form of truth. Because remember, they can see your truth because they gave birth to it. So now, not only just that, these beings can now orchestrate other agents, the devil in a red dress. They can show and put them into your life to get you to be quiet because they want you to be silent and what they are silent about the whole entire time in their society of secrecy. That's exactly why I can't be inverted. I would get killed for stuff like this if I was in the inversion. So it wouldn't even make sense, dumbass. It wouldn't even make sense. That's the sad part. People will say certain things about me and I use discernment and it can't even make sense to my own ignorance. I put myself in ignorance and a lot of times it's so dumb to even think about. Because I'll be sitting here thinking to myself, how could I be in your inversion when your inversion is built off of lies that you still believe? Imagine believing that you are a man or a woman. We have lost our way that bad to where we think as if this is a board that I'm writing on. We lost our way to where we actually think as if we're speaking in English. We lost our way to where people will feel as if they can bring you or degrade your prophecy because they feel a certain way about their lives that were scripted in their code of lost sources. Inverts are beyond sleep. And it's not all of them because I have love for all beings. I don't care if you're gay, transgender, homonoculus, which is basically a biological man-made experiment. I'm gonna get into that video too. But yeah, homonoculus. I don't care if you are in secret societies. I don't care if you're a lesbian. I don't care if you're straight. I don't care if you're a grass. I don't care if you're a wood chip. I don't care if you're a fan. I don't care if you're a cloud. I don't care as far as a fan, like a ceiling fan. I don't care if you're a cloud. I don't care if you're a water bottle. I don't care what form you are. I have love for you because I exist in this. This can only exist through hatred. I don't sit in that. I don't reside in that. I was born into it though. They are gods of the world, but I am a God observing my being in the world. That's the difference between divinity and Luciferianism. We are all forms of God. I will sit here and speculate on that, but we're not God. But according to ancient civilizations, we are gods in form. The difference is, though, they are the inversion of God in form. I am the observation of the being biologically being a light source in form. Literally. Digital agents get triggered, then make burner pages to be confident in their insecurities. That's the thing. Insecurities are so confident when you can't see them. Insecurities are so confident when you can't see them. Because why? They are afraid of what you can see and what you can show the world of them not seeing what they don't want to see. Inverts hide behind fake accounts. A lot of times it'll be big, and the thing is too, you don't know who these trolls could be. You won't know who these fake accounts could be. But now remember, these beings understand that to try to get under somebody's skin to make them question their consciousness, they will have to say a lie that they think the person thinks about. Sorry, I can't be your lies that you think about. That's the thing right there. They will try to sit here. I'm on an episode of Naruto Shippuden, and Gaara and Fu were in the desert, or the demon desert, because they were in the tuning exams. Excuse me. I think I'm on episode 415 or something like that. And I already finished Naruto Shippuden, but just stay with me real quick. There was a being that had these, I'm gonna have the picture on the screen, but there was a being that had, wait, what time is it so I can make sure? All right, so 27. There was a being that had these chains. These chains came out of his body. Now the thing is, the chains come out of the body were sucking on the chakra point that the demon or the Jinchuriki was inside of. Jinchurikis in Naruto Shippuden are basically just demon souls. I don't want to say demonic souls, but contradicted souls or guardians that are within beings that are chosen to be in bond with this Jinchuriki or this demonic, gigantic nature of a beast. But the thing is, though, these beasts were only chosen to be symbolisms of demonology because of their nature getting rewired or getting under control, put into submission. That was not their way of living. They were supposed to be free and expressing themselves by being dominant in what they were living in. So a lot of times in this show, the beings want that chakra, they want that nature. So it's like, for example, inverted beings will be the being that had the chain sucking Gaara and Fu's Jinchuriki out of their body. Because then remember, this demonic soul or this energy is so strong to where if you pull out this chakra point of this Jinchuriki, then the being like Gaara or Fu or Naruto, they will die. That's how powerful it is. So when they activate that bond with that being, they now get their powers enhanced. Their fighting skills get enhanced. Their ability to see things and do things is out of this realm. So where now the enemy who is strong, they're like, I want that kind of power. So where now the beings who are evil want that evil power that are inside beings who choose to do good. We choose to do good, and you hate that because we have the same nature, but we're not in the same nature. So how can we rewire my nature by what I can't be? And the thing is too, they hide behind fake accounts because my presence exposes their image of suffering. Rain a little bit, it's all good. Inverts suffered and what they're triggered by. That's exactly why their image looks like suffering. That's exactly why too, divine masculinity will threaten their agenda. Remember, divine masculinity threatens their agenda. Ooh, it's all good. Let's keep on going though. So when you remain in divine, and you see how they control the simulation and all that, it's like raining on one side, it stops on one side. You can't make this stuff up. When you reside in this, they will get triggered by that. A lot of inverts will get triggered by divine masculine that chooses to expose the lies that they imitate every day. And because my presence will expose their agenda, we now can expose the digital agents. Y'all are sentient beings. Y'all are basically sentient consciousness that has no form. So you make fake pages to manipulate my form of choosing my truth in. I choose my truth in clarity. You're still confused by your inversion that isn't so clear. Another one. They fear truth. So they orchestrate submission. Inverts are mad because you don't want to be submissive in life. You're rebellious. By you being rebellious, you don't sit there and tell yourself, you can control my life or do this with my life. No. You sit there and let yourself know, like no matter what. These parasites cannot shame me into being silent. No. No. I will not exist in what you are ashamed of. I will express what people are afraid to vocalize, regardless of what's going on. Because remember, me existing hurts your stuff pretending. That's the problem right there. Woo! Inverts have to pretend because they exist in that pretending. I don't. I'm not hurt by what I exist in. That's why clarity can exist beyond divinity. No matter what, nothing can stop your alchemy. It's all about what you think you can listen to. That's exactly why when you calm the noise down, they can't speed you up. They can't manipulate what you're being because you're being what you want to be. That's exactly why divinity will always walk in truth without second guessing it. Lastly, beings who talk like this are Luciferian, gender-bending puppets that hate divine mirrorings. They hate divine mirrorings. Why is that? Because I showed them what they wanted to be in their past life. Now they're stuck being inverted in this life because of their hatred. That ain't my fault. Live in your faults. Because I can't be at fault for what you are suffering in. Oops. People who try to say my name and say that I'm inverted, they are spiritual crash dummies that are sent under my videos to confuse the world. They also, when I say spiritual crash dummies, they are sent to go against divine beings, so that divine beings confuse themselves with what they're being in divinity. That's what they are sent here to do, but it won't work. So it's like they're testing the level that you're already on mentally. So it gets too easy when you're divine is clarity. It gets too easy when you're divine is clarity. They mimic divine beings and decay timelines. They decay timelines by mimicking divine beings. That's exactly why we had to expose inverts that hate on triggered insecurities that they don't want to face. They come for divine entities because we walk in our truth. They come for divine entities because we walk in our truth. That is clear or clear in clarity beyond your confusion. Always remember, to all beings out there who are inverted, You cannot manipulate me ever in your life into thinking that I am a connection to you. Even though we are connected in nature, you cannot rewire the nature that I'm not connected to through your inversion. My biological source code triggers what you hate on. I cannot control your hatred, but what I can control is how I see myself getting away from what you hate on. You can't even see what you hate on, so how can you hate on me? How can you identify what I can't be and what I project you into being? You're being what you're inverted by, and you hate that I can't be inverted by the things that I mirror you into always being. So because you're mad at what you're being, you want to be like what you were always being. And because I can't be the way of what you see yourself being, you want to control my environment of what divinity was always realizing inverts into being. It's unfortunate that a lot of people, majority of society, is transgender or under transhumanism. A lot of people are homunculus. They are biologically manipulated into being inverted into hatred through societies with secrecy. But the thing is, though, I'll always love you. I'll always love you, but you can't troll a troll. Like, remember, I healed my inner child, but you haven't. Because your inner child is still trafficked right now. Which is exactly why a lot of you have to hide what you say to me. You can't tag me. Because if you tag me and you have more followers than me, then you fell into my trap. That's exactly why the beings who are inverted, they know to be quiet. Because they took an oath. So I can talk about them freely. Because why is that? I can expose lies that have some truth into it. You just can't see it, but I've been seeing already. I pick and choose when to expose the lies. And so now that you want to lie on me, I'm going to now expose more truth that you want me to lie in, but I can't lie in what I'm awakened into. Even when I lie down in your lies that you want me to think about, I'm still awakened into what you can't even think about. That's exactly why my truth can imitate a lie that you are stuck in. I'm not stuck in your timeline. Don't forget that. I live and exist in clarity. My clarity goes beyond what you can't even transcend, because you can't transcend your suffering because you are inverted into it. You are connected to that source that told you what you were coded by through false light bearing, because you wanted to hold false light bearing, because you wanted materialism over your spiritual possession that you are supposed to be observing. But you can't even observe your own obsession because you are obsessed with my way of living. So where now you want me to be inverted by your way of existing because you are existing in an inverted way of being. Have a great and divine day, divine reflection. It's not going to work. It's never going to. Sorry.